but make it about busting nuts with the bros. And that's honestly, it's honestly one of the most legendary songs that I've ever heard. That's like my favorite chorus ever.
Can you send it to me, or is it like?
Yeah, actually, I can send it to you right now.
Together till dawn with trust, busting fat nuts with the bros by our side.
Yes.
Wild ride, but with
Oh my God.
Nothing feels greater than moments like these. Unbroken harmony carried by the breeze.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hell yeah.
Poducer.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Poducer, the podcast for producers. Today, actually, I didn't even ask you this. Is it Cheese or Chez?
I would say cheese.
It's Cheese, dude. We could keep that as the intro. That's kind of funny. All right, fuck it. We'll just do that. What's up, dude?
Not much. Happy to be here.
Thank you for coming through. Also, this is the first episode that I've had my dub siren on. Got to do that. This is going to be releasing a little bit before Solar Tide, which is happening at Chop Shop on May
2nd and 3rd.
May 2nd and 3rd, yes. So one of the questions we asked for the NSW episodes are, what was your first NSW show?
I would say probably my first, well, it's not probably, it was my first show. I played with my friend Osis bass. He goes by, well, his name's Ted. But he's one of the people who got me like really into music. And luckily, one of my best friends from high school, Brett Zara, who was my manager and agent for a while, worked at NSW. And I was pretty hesitant about releasing music for like a really long time. Like, I would show music to people. They're like, "Yeah, you should put this out." I'm like, "No." But my friend Brett was like, "Hey, I got you and Ted to show at like opening for Cursa and KLO, and if you don't do it, like, we're not friends," pretty much. And I'm like, "Okay, like, I guess I have to do it," which ended up being like such an awesome decision, but like somewhat like overwhelming decision, because I felt like in some regards, there's a lot of people who wait a really long time, and I feel like I got like, which is cool, like, and I'm really, really grateful, like, but pushed into it pretty, like, whoa, okay, I wasn't even expecting to be playing shows, and it, like, took a second for a readjustment period, but, yeah, that show was at, Avondale Music Hall. I actually haven't played again since there. I think it was the first time they did a 360 show. Who was on that? It was me and Ted, Inspector and Impostor, KLO, I think Spunback was on that, then Cursa, obviously. But yeah, that was really cool. It was the first time I ever walked past Mike Wallace, and I was very intimidated. I was like, "Oh God, that's him." And I just didn't say anything.
That venue's cool. Like, I haven't been to I saw Carmack there like 4 years ago or something, and it's an interesting room. I mean, it's definitely a hall. I would say the sound is like okay, but
yeah, I've never seen anything there that's not the 360, because I knew they did the 360 shows there for a little bit. I saw like 2 or 3 of those, and then, but I've never seen a show where like they actually utilized the stage, like where the speakers were just in the front.
I think the show that I saw, yeah, it was, the speakers were just in the front, but yeah, it's a cool spot. I mean, it's like that there's a lot of historic buildings in Chicago, and then like sometimes, you know, one will just pop up and they're like, "We're doing events now."
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the Ramova is one of those where it's like somehow newly in the circulation of venues.
I've never been there.
I've never been there either, but I know like the NSW guys do shows there, and then there's this thing called the Chicago Electronic Music Conference, which is happening there, which might have already happened depending on when this comes out. April 26th. I want to say 26. I forget.
And how big is it?
That's a good question. I've never been there either, but it's just like one of these venues, and I feel like Avondale Music Hall was floating around like that for a while, and then I don't know what happened. You know, I guess COVID also affected a lot of venues, so I don't know, it might not be a thing. But yeah, cool. That sounds like a fun first show, like getting just tossed into it.
Yeah, and especially like a bunch of my first, like I definitely was someone who was really nervous about playing my tunes against other people's tunes, so I definitely waited kind of till I felt like I had, like that was the first time when you like kind of suggested playing a show where I was like, at least I have 30 minutes, and I know Ted has 30 minutes, so we could have an hour together, and I feel like that kind of helped me made me like a little less nervous. I don't really know why. I feel like most people would be more nervous playing only their own tunes, but I felt like I was less nervous.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I would definitely be more nervous being like, oh, I'm going to do this is all my music.
Yeah, like in my head was like, if the first song goes well, it all sounds like that. So I think the rest should probably go well. And it went well, that was fun. I mean, it still is like, I look back on that night being like, I still can't really believe that happened. Because I was just like, I still like don't ever expect to like, it blows me away that like I'm playing shows. I never expected to be playing shows. I definitely like being in front of people scares me a lot. Like I definitely have fun once I'm up there and I get comfortable, but like I get really nervous.
Beforehand. Yeah. I just feel like some people are way more drawn towards the spotlight, which I mean, I think is normal to be, nervous and anxious like going into it, but yeah, I just think some people are like, I thrive in this moment.
Yeah. No, I feel like once I'm up there, like I kind of can get that feeling, but like I'm definitely more like, don't look at me. Like I don't know, you see me a lot in like in a hat, a hoodie. I'd wear probably sunglasses if it wasn't overkill. But but yeah, like I like to be kind of covered up and incognito.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So do you feel like that kind of springboarded your like did you feel anything after that you were like, oh okay, like now I kind of get what I'm trying to do here? Did that help like form you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like after that show, I was like, oh, I guess like maybe I could do this. I still don't think I was like anything's really probably gonna happen, but I think that was the first like, oh, whoa, okay, I guess like people think this is kind of cool, which was like insane. I was like never expected that. Like it was funny because like the first two songs we played were these like kind of chiller down tempo tunes, and I was just looking around and everyone's standing there. I'm like, oh god. And then we played like this one song that I have. It's just called Deep. It's like Deep with a bunch of E's because I've never released it. That's like I just name my project files really random things. But it was like the first up tempo song I had like pretty much ever dropped, and then I was like the crowd had a good reaction. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
All right.
I was like, okay.
Nice, dude. Well, okay. So we did the first NSW concert, but also we always do the first concert you ever went to.
The first concert that I would enter. That's like hard to remember just because it was probably so young. I think it probably would have maybe like the one probably I would remember the most being like an early concert was seeing like the New Cars with my dad. And that was like the Cars, but with Todd Rundgren. Singing and playing guitar.
Whoa.
And that was really, really fun.
Wait. So the Cars.
So like their singer stopped playing with them, and then Todd, they were like, we want to do a tour, and I think he didn't want to do it, and they re-recorded their hits with Todd Rundgren, and then went on tour with him.
That's actually sick. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, that was really cool. I feel like another really young one was like seeing Tom Petty. At like I think it's called the American Express Arena, but it's that like 20-day festival in like Wisconsin or whatever. It's a Summerfest or something or whatever. We saw that there, and like Carlos Santana was another one of my really early ones. Lots of like, damn, I wish I could see those now because I feel like I would be like I'd go crazy seeing those. Or like I want to see more bands. I feel like I like took a big hiatus in the festival circuit of like. I saw a bunch of electronic music and did all that stuff and hadn't saw a lot of these bands that like I probably would really, really like. And I feel like that's like a thing I want to explore more.
For sure. Was your dad like a rocker? Like taking you to the new cars and like,
yeah, my dad really liked music. Like, my dad really, really liked Frank Zappa, and that's like definitely one of my big inspirations musically. Definitely like the humorous aspects too.
Okay, where do I start with Zappa? Because like I've gone through the catalog a bit and I'm like, I don't know what is supposed to hit correctly. And maybe I need to do like I've watched his documentary. Like he's sick and prolific in the amount of music and like just the vision, but I don't know. I don't have any Zappa songs that I can point to that I'm like, yeah, that one's sick.
I feel like if you just really, really want a good, just full listen, Joe's Garage is always going to be fun. But I feel like for me, like Frank Zappa's always been someone that's like, there's just tunes for me that really, really, really hit. And then there's tunes I'm like, yeah, this is just too weird for me. So like I have a playlist of a bunch of stuff that I'll send to you. Like, cause like it's a compilation of like all my favorite things from like all his albums.
Yeah, that'd be good. Okay, so I'm not the only one in this where
no, some of it is just too weird.
Yeah, and that's part of the fact that people like.
Yeah, like some people like it, and like some like I'll listen to it for the novelty of being like, okay, he wrote that. But like some of it's just like, yeah, that's not like really for me. But I think he thrives in that. Like he loves doing that, like pushing boundaries and stuff like that. But I don't know, I've always just like I don't know, San Bernardino, like Willie the Pimp, Don't Eat the Yellow Snow. There's just like in his way of like writing. I've always like loved his comic. Like he's really comical, but he's also it's not like comical with being stupid and bad. Because I think if you're funny and you're good, it legitimizes you being funny. But like if you're just funny and bad, I feel like now you're just being bad. Like. So I think that's something, especially with like the Two Guys project that me and Crawdad are doing. We want to be serious. We want to be like really good. We want to show people that like we're not just this isn't just a joke, but like there's humor in it also. And that's definitely something I like learned a lot from like him.
This is a theme that's come up because like we had Kyoto on the podcast and he is very goofy with his songs, but they're very good. Like I was going through his catalog, I was like, damn, dude, this is actually kind of nuts. Like some of these tracks are amazing.
Tom's crazy.
Yeah. But a lot of them have like a kind of jokiness to it. And he was talking about how it's like, you know, if it's a joke, then people can't fully critique you because it's like it's a joke. So it's almost like a hiding mechanism. But yeah, it's just interesting that that's also one of your kind of ethoses is the funness. Like that's something I definitely hear in your music as well.
Yeah, and even like if it's not just like we're putting goofy lyrics over it or something, it's like the melodies should make you, or like the rhythms should kind of give you that like, oh, we're like bopping around, kind of like it's just like an overall goofiness, even if it's not directly being like I'm saying something funny in my song, or like yeah. I'm like using a meme to like make my song funny. It's just like an overall tonality and vibe that like you bring to the table.
Where do you get a lot of your humor from? Like, are there any comedians that you really think are funny, like a certain style, and then also like TV shows? Like, I'm sensing you're like a Tim and Eric's guy.
Yeah, I really like Tim and Eric. Honestly, like one of my favorite shows that I would say I get a lot of inspiration from, and my friend actually like showed it to me thinking I would like it without him seeing it, and we both watched it together. And it was this show called Fooly Cooly, like FLCL. It's this like anime show. It's pretty funny, but it's like it's very comical, but also like weirdly serious if you like pay attention to like the undertones and like themes of the show. But that's like definitely been like artistically and stylistically and comically like something that's really, really inspired me recently. Everyone should check that show out. It's really sick.
Fooly Cooly?
Yeah, Fooly Cooly.
What network is it on? Is it like Adult Swim or is
I would figure you probably would find it on Crunchyroll. I know it was like back in the day, the English version I think aired on Adult Swim. I think that's where
So it's like a proper anime.
Yeah, it was a proper anime, but it's like an anime that would say like it's probably one of the best dubs that I've ever seen. Probably that alongside Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah,
But-
and Champloo. It's like,
Yeah. Those are all three really, really good.
have you ever watched Space Dandy?
I watched a little bit of Space Dandy because me and my friend were watching Champloo and Cowboy Bebop, and then I know that he had seen like more than I had another like one of them, so I didn't want to catch up yet, and we just were like, well, maybe we check out Space Dandy, and then I watched like a few episodes.
It doesn't hook you right away, but then I got in.
Yeah, it gets it. Okay.
It's weird because it's like serious, but then not serious at all.
Yeah, and like I think also Cowboy Bebop and Champloo like both kind of like are other good examples of shows that like really inspired me, just kind of teetering both on like being serious but also having really nice humor to it.
Or like One Punch Man.
One Punch Man's also.
I only watched the first season. I felt like the second
Yeah, I heard the second season. I never watched the second season. I heard it wasn't that great.
Yeah, I watched a couple episodes and there was just something about it that wasn't clicking. I don't know. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I've heard that people said like the story wasn't like the story was good. It was still a good story, but it was like I know that the studio changed, like the animation studio changed, and it got like I feel like half of the fun about the first season is the derpiness, and I feel like they tried to make One Punch Man a little too crisp.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I'm trying to think. Any comedians? Like, do you listen to the podcast realm /
Yeah, I would say I listen to MSSP a decent amount, like
What's
the
that?
Matt and Shane's secret podcast.
Oh yeah.
But I don't listen to like too much podcasts. I honestly like most of my comedy is just sitting in the Discord with my
memes.
friends. Yeah, just like sitting in the Discord with my friends and like because like literally that's like my whole day at the moment, especially now that like I'm kind of just on the coast period until I move. It's like I'll sit either working on music or like working on like getting like merch runs and stuff done, but where it's like always just sitting in the Discord just like shooting the shit, showing stupid like YouTube videos and stuff.
Is there a way to do Discord where it's like not on your phone, or like a way to make it so the notifications aren't just like constantly spamming you?
Yeah, you have to like that is like you got to go into the settings and just turn off all notifications because the dings get it's like the worst if you're like working on a tune and then you like forget to turn it down and you like didn't turn your computer off, and then you're like sleeping and you just hear like 3 like bing 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 like so loud, and you're just like disoriented waking up and you're like, dude, what just happened? So yeah, I've definitely made sure to like silence all notifications because it gets crazy, especially in the big Discords.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, no, that's the thing. I tried doing it and like I was like, I don't understand how to do this app. And like I was just like, I guess it's not for me. But yeah, I don't know. I just never have done the Discord thing a lot, but like it is so like you can make so many connections, and not that it even has to be like connection seeking, but just like genuinely hanging out with people like on Discord is a very, I don't know, like it's legit.
Yeah, no, and it's funny just like because as I felt like I've gotten older, like more and more of my homies like we're spreading out more. So like I feel like it gives us a really good way to like we still talk every day, even though like we don't see each other every day. So I feel like that kind of keeps us all kind of like we all know what the hell's happening in our lives, which is cool. Because I definitely know there's a lot of people. It's like you get older, you don't talk to them that much. So, and it's like on a creative level, but nice because a lot of these people are like working like with us, like my friend Jerry, who's yeah, Jerry, other Jerry, but he's in the pond and he's doing like art for me and Crawdad Sniper, and we have like other people like my friend Mason, Mason Your Face is doing art for like me, and it's just like we have like a bunch of people collabing, like but we're all close. What I like about it is like you can start a collab with someone and you're like honestly I'm not vibing with this, but not have that like, oh god, are they gonna like
am I gonna do I have to finish this track?
Yeah, do I have to finish this track that I'm like not interested in, and like, or it's like So either you do that or you feel like the nervousness of having to tell someone like, I don't like this.
Mhm.
But when you're everyone's in the Discord and you talk to each other every day, like no one gets offended by that. And like I feel like no one has the anxiety of saying something like that. I don't know, it just feels like cultivating those kind of crews of just like we're all at the same, pretty much at the same level, and like we can all build together. I feel like that's helped me grow like way faster than I would have if I was just like sitting in my room by myself.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel that. You call your Discord the Pond? Is
Yeah,
that what
Pond 2.
Pond 2?
Yeah.
Is there any reason?
No, my friend Jerry, the guy who makes the posters, we were just like, we were like in like someone else's group, and then he was like, we should make our own, and he just decided it should be Pond 2. There's no Pond 1. But it all started, it was pretty like adamant that there's one channel, because he was mad about how like so many Discords have like 40 channels in them.
Yeah.
He's like, it's one channel, and then there's Friends of the Pond, where it is like you just put in pictures of frogs and stuff. And then there's Les Louvres, which I think that's the sounds of the pond, and that's songs, and then there's just a general chat. And we finally got big enough where we're like, okay, we need a second. We need 2 chats. But it's pretty much, we just like don't want it to be complicated. We just want to be, you come in, you work on music.
That's what I feel is the problem for me, is that I get in there, I'm like, what?
I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
I'm like literally,
And
where
there's
do I start?
50 Discords that I'm in that I'm just like, I have no idea how to do any of these.
Yeah, no, I get so overwhelmed. And then like sometimes like there's these ginormous discussions going on in the Discord, and like I'll type something and then no one responds for a second. I'm like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, dude, it's cool. I like still, I guess I'm seeking a Discord that will accept me.
Oh, dude, the pond's always open.
The pond's open? Okay, cool. Yeah. I think it's just that I spend so much time on my computer, and when I'm on my computer, I want to get shit done and then get off my computer because I'm already on it so much. And yeah, I just have become such like a podcast editor guy that it's not, I don't think it's as creative. Like I'm not like, yo guys, check out this new fucking 2-hour podcast. Like give me your feedback. Like I feel like you can go in there, you got like a minute bounce that you're just like, yo,
Yeah,
anybody?
Yeah, is this cool or not? No, I do get that. And I bet it's like a lot harder to like edit when people are talking and shit.
For sure, yeah. Because you can only hear like 1.5 voices. So like imagine if someone was talking and then I'm editing a podcast. I'm just like, what is going on in my brain?
Yeah, no, I feel like that'd be so hard. I would like actually drive me insane.
It kind of, not to make this about fucking podcasting, but I wish I could, and actually this is the same thing with music, but like sometimes I wish that I just did like graphic design or some shit, because you can listen to music while you do that. But like editing video, you kind of got to listen, and like if there's audio in there, and then also like for music, you're creating the music. So okay, there's no point in like listening to music, but
I've heard that kind of like I do podcasts sometimes, or like just like random YouTube videos, not even really podcasts, just like,
are you mixing, dude?
No, like I'll have like something really low volume while I'm making music, and then like I know I think it was Copycat who talked about this. Is like sometimes he'll just be playing music while he's making music.
That's crazy. That's insane. But some people I think also do better when there's like noise.
Yeah, no, like I mean just like because then sometimes you stop and you're not doing something that has any sound going, like you're looking something up, like you're like, okay, like you're just kind of like doing something non-musical, like taking a break, and there's just kind of something in the background.
Yeah, that's true. It is nice. But yeah, I can't do the background music.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, so before we get too deep, I think we should listen to a track, and you sent me over, I think 4 tracks. We got,
I think one of them I actually sent the wrong file, so I sent it again as the right wave file.
Yes. This one is called Monsters Inc. Flip.
Yeah, this is with one of the
Do
boys.
we want to play this one?
Yeah, this is one of the boys with one of my friends, Austin. I actually met him for the first time at Sonoda. He's friends with Restraint. They both came in. He is just like the nicest guy. But yeah, we both talked and we really wanted to do a Monsters Inc. flip because they had done a Crazy Frog flip.
Oh yeah.
And we like, my idea was to use the Monsters Inc. Song for promo for the Black Box show, and we just kind of like made it all work out. It's pretty excited. Yeah, we can.
What's the Monsters Inc. song? Like, I know we're gonna hear it, but like,
you know, like the.
Oh yeah. Dude, that's a banger.
It's such a
That is
banger.
a banger.
It's
I
really
forgot about
such a
that.
banger.
All right, let's run it.
But yeah, that first part was a lot of Aznadel, and that's Austin. He actually found the MIDI to the song, which was fucking crazy, which made it so we could just like put in all these parts and have like the actual bass lines and stuff, like
without trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
That is nice when you have the MIDI.
Yeah, no, I was like, I hit him up and I was like, yo, did you fucking transpose this whole thing? And he was like, no, I didn't. I was like, dude, I was going to be like, that's just time consuming. Because I saw like at the bottom of the project, it was all the MIDI transposed out. And I was just like, did you just do that by hand? But he did not, thank God. I was like, is that what it takes?
Yeah, that's a lot. But yeah, like first of all, yeah, everything, because like getting everything in time would be like, fuck. But also, I wanted to kind of just talk to you, get nerdy for a second. We talked before, we're like, we don't get that nerdy on this podcast, but I want to get nerdy for a sec because, like, you know, I'd say like you're kind of in that like trip hoppy, adjacent, whatever, like area. Realm.
Yeah, I definitely like. I would really like to be in some ways like kind of like the newer Danny Breaksy kind of vibe. I really, really like that old school rusty bass music that's all about just this groove. I still love all like the new really high fidelity, like techie, like kind of stuff, but just something about that, like, oh, I know you're just supposed to dance to this kind of music is like always been really, really appealing to me.
It's a little more down and dirty.
Yeah, it's definitely like not as much going on, but like not in a bad way. I feel like it's just because a lot's going on that doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah. Do what are the guys in your sphere using like for synthesizers?
Yeah, I've definitely used Serum a lot. I haven't like really with all like the moving and stuff. I haven't been able to like dive into Serum 2 yet. I know everyone's freaking out.
Everyone's like, dude.
Yeah, everyone's like, dude, or everyone's like, it's not as good as Faceplant. I'm like, it's always so funny. I love watching people like beef over synths and stuff. But yeah, no, I definitely use like Serum a lot. Just because I know like, I think like there's lots of sounds I know how to get out of it faster than I know how to get out of other synths. Definitely want to dive into Faceplant more. I think like there's lots of options and like more like a limitless approach to what you can do. Sometimes I use Vital. I use Vital for like pretty specific stuff. I really like using Vital for random kind of stuff. I really like the sign interpolate mode that they have in the random little thing. It's pretty good for like squonks if you want like kind of like if you just want to record out a bunch of those but like don't want to like draw pitch automation all the time. Like I like how their random features work in that. But besides that, I think sometimes like something I've been trying to do a lot more is like not over processing our sounds, and then also like using a utility gain and turning things down before like saturating or distorting a bunch. And I've been finding that like keeps things a lot cleaner instead of just like stacking distortions, like kind of like gain staging and pulling things down, like getting the dirt, pulling it down again, then like bring it back up with like more dirt.
That actually like brought up something that I wanted to know about, because you said squonk, which like I feel like that's like a specific characteristic sound to like trippy, like trip hoppy, like glitch hoppy stuff. And I don't know, it's like it just reminds me of like Tipper, yeah. And I don't hear those sounds really in like deep dubstep or anything. You know what I mean? It's just I feel like they could be there, but you don't hear them.
Yeah, no, and I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm not like a electronic history buff, so someone probably definitely could correct me. But I think like a lot of those sounds like stemmed from like the psytrance and psydub realm. And honestly, I feel like if for a while before anything was really getting talked about or I really knew anybody who could like help explain some of the sound design stuff, like a lot of the times I was trying to figure out how to do any of this Tipper stuff was like looking up psydub tutorials, because I found those sound design was like that was what the sounds I wanted, but I didn't want to make psydub. I wanted to make other kind of stuff, but like I could incorporate that sounds, like those sounds, into my hip hop ear stuff. But that's where I would look. Now there's a lot more resources, I feel like, to kind of get that stuff. But when I first started,
yeah. But psydub, I didn't even really realize that was like a genre fully. Like,
yeah, just like I feel like for me, I think like psydub is kind of more like I think that's what mostly is gonna be on Saturday of Tipper and Friends. Is kind of more like hoppy. It's hoppy. It's
like
dub.
Squelchy, squonky, like all of those words come to mind.
No, and I'm like, it's people are gonna probably be like cringing at me trying to explain this, because I literally it's so bad at describing genres. I'm always just like, yeah, it's just music. I mean,
no, and I think that that's probably the right way to look at it. It's just there's a divide when it comes to people that listen to this type of music versus like the other types of bass music, and they're all like the same in the sense that we just want like cool bass sounds, but there's, I guess, a certain taste to specific ones that people gravitate towards.
Yeah, and like something I've always found kind of interesting is like, and maybe like this is like a theory, but like I feel like there's so many genres that are like really characterized by like certain tempos or certain types of drum patterns. And then when you're like, I'm an artist who makes this, I feel like in some ways that can like really put you in a box then of what you can make. Like, I only make house music. I'm like, well, that puts you in this range of BPMs and this type of drum beats. But I feel like when you start asking a lot of people like in our scene of like what some may say like glitch hop, like what do you call your music? Like if you ask an artist, they'd be like, I don't really know.
Well, I feel like that's a normal response too, because you don't want to be, put into a box.
Yeah, no.
Like a lot of people just don't want to.
No,
definitely. A lot of people listen to more music than just one genre.
If you go to a festival that's like considered glitch hop, like there's going to be like usually a pretty big range in what you're hearing, like sonically. It's not like just confined to like something. But I feel like probably people who go to like see techno shows and stuff like that, like I don't really see that. I bet like they go to techno shows and because they listen to it, probably think the same thing that I think when I go to my glitch shows, because I'm like, I know all this music, so I can tell the difference. But like me going to a trance, I'm like, this is all the same. And then someone's like, no, it is not.
Yeah, calm down, dude. You're wrong. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that was my attempt to put you in a box for a second. Yeah, like I feel like I always do that. But I don't know. It's funny. Like I've been in the bass music scene for a long time, and it's just I've always seen this just differentiation between the two styles, but they're both like breakbeat. And they're both about the bass, and it's kind of fucking similar. One of them is a little funkier.
Yeah. No.
That's like also, I feel like another thing, if we're going to just continue to drill down on this, I feel like your genre has a lot more swing.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like the swing is a lot more emphasized in the glitch because I feel like our drums are a lot more open. Also, what like happens in between the kicks and snares, since like there is like so much space, and at the pacing it's like sometimes like, a little bit more like variation rhythmically. But but
agreed.
I think yeah, like I feel like you tend to see a little bit more of the consistent triplet 16th notes in like dub, where like it kind of stays like a singular rhythm or something. One of my friends Togeki is really sick with like a lot of that kind of stuff, and I'm moving in, like he's one of the people I'm moving in with. So I'm definitely trying to lean into doing that more.
So you're moving out to DC.
Yes, I am moving out to DC. Well,
You'll be there.
I will be there by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that will be with my friends Jaya, Davis, and Zach. And that will be pretty much getting into music stuff. Like we'll have me and Crawdad will be doing the Two Guys project. I imagine me and Jay will be making a bunch of bass line. And then me and Togeki probably will hopefully be doing a bunch of like D&B, drum and bass kind of stuff like that. So that's gonna be fun to be in a house that's like 3 producers who also generally have their shit together.
Like they're professional.
Yeah, professional, have good like jobs and stuff. Like
have you lived in that kind of environment before?
No. I mean like I've lived with people who have jobs, obviously.
Right.
But no, I mean I've had like periods. I feel like probably my favorite point of living was I lived in Jefferson Park in Chicago with my really good friends from high school. One of my friends like bought a property, and it was like me, 2 of my other friends. Actually, Jerry, the guy who does my poster, was there for a little bit, but that was like later. But it was all 4 of us. But then one of my friends had to move to get close to his job, and we got these random roommates. And it was really, really fun when it was us 4. But then the random roommates came in, and they were just the worst.
They muddy, dude. That's what happens. The random roommate comes in, and you're just like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" I lived with 4 other dudes.
Yeah,
and it just started to disintegrate.
Yeah, well, they stole my PS5,
dude.
So that was the one. I moved out like 2 days later. I was like, I know you stole it. And I just feel like I'm not getting this back because he played this like card of like, well, for a little bit, I like both of our Xbox, his Xbox and my PS5 was gone. But then like I kind of realized he just hit his Xbox and said his Xbox got stolen. But we actually finally got my PS5 back. I like after a year and a half, my friend who's the landlord walked into the house. And saw him playing the PS5. And he was like, how'd you get this PS5? He's like, my cousin gave it to me. He's like, give me the PS5.
No way. And did he like put much of a fight? Like,
no.
He was like, I know.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. Yeah, I take the PS5.
Dude.
But yeah, sucks. Like most of my living situations, it's like never been like horrible, but I definitely feel like this is like gonna be like probably the best living situation that I've had, and I'm really excited about it. So I think that's gonna be sick.
Yeah, no, that does sound sick. Something just that's a random question. Well, let's before I do that, I'll keep that. But like DC, have you been out there much? Do you like it over there?
Yeah, no. So like whenever I like pretty much any time I'm playing in either Baltimore or DC, like that's the house I've stayed in. I've stayed in there probably like 5+ times. So that was probably like the easiest part was like, oh, I've like literally I stay in this house a bunch. Like I know all these guys. Their friend group I would say is like now I would consider like part of my friend group. Like it's funny because Infrasound's gonna be sick. We have all these people on the DC Baltimore DMV area. And then all my friends from Chicago in that area. And we're all in this Discord together. And we're all meeting up at Infrasound. I'm like so excited.
Nice. The not Equinox?
Like no, like the one that we're doing the Two Guys set at. Nice. And it's fun just because like, I mean, for me, I know what.
Wait, hold on. This is my girlfriend's probably getting Yeah.
This is also going to
Sorry, we had to take a little break.
Yeah, no, this is also going to become an Infrasound. Me telling everyone to go to Infrasound. Infrasound's definitely, I would probably say, my favorite festival I've ever been to.
The amount of people that have come on this podcast and been like, dude, Infrasound, I'm like, I know, I gotta go.
Yeah, I just like, I don't know, something that I've really, really like. I mean, I was like in my opinion, I was like I went to Electric Forest was my first festival, but I felt like the first festival that like I went to and I was like, oh, this is the kind of things I want to do now, was summer camp. It's been funny watching, I guess sad and funny watching some of the last few years of summer camp and how that's been going. But
is it bad? What's going on?
I mean, it's just been kind of weird with how like they did the whole Soul Shine thing back to summer camp. Like, but summer camp, like, people ask me what stage would like you want to play on. Like, if you could pick one stage, what stage would you play on? And it's like not even a question. Moonshine at summer camp. That would be like, I'd probably tear up if I played at Moonshine at summer camp. That's like a festival I've had a lot of really, really fucking special moments at. And it's just like, anytime you walk into that stage and you kind of just like, there's a big gate that says Moonshine, you walk up and you just you just turn the corner and it's just this big like natural amphitheater with like a really cool like barn aesthetic like stage. And that's like the second time I saw Tipper, like all these Mo sets where you're just like sitting laying on the grass and it's just like so beautiful. And that was kind of for me the part that made watch it, like, because I think hopefully everything comes back all like nice. I know that I don't think they're doing summer camp this year. Hopefully they do it next year and it's back in full force because I love summer camp. But for me that was the sad part. I was like, hopefully it doesn't stop because like I would be really sad if I never got to play there.
It's like a bucket list thing.
That is definitely a big bucket list. But what I love about Infrasound is that it just feels very like, yeah, I definitely think there is like the hooligan. I think you're never going to go to a festival without the hooligan nature of a festival. But I do think there is like an overarching adult aesthetic to it that I like, where it's like the music ends early. You can't play music late, so it ends around like 1, and then you have the silent disco. But I think it makes people want to go to bed earlier, and I think it makes the daytime sets like way more fun. Like I've never like really seen a festival where you go to bed and then you wake up at like 10 and then you walk to a pyramid at 11 and start kicking the shit out of it because someone's playing like the gnarliest drum and bass. It's like, I think it's just so cool. Like there's so many festivals I've gone to, you stay up to like 6 in the morning and then you're not a person until 5 p.m. and it's just like, but there's cool things to do during the day. Like the day parties, like when they're done right, day parties are so fun. So that's definitely something that's gonna be really sick about Infrasound. But I think, by this point, no, Infrasound still won't have happened because this is gonna be Infrasound's after Solar Tide. Yeah. So yeah, definitely come to Solar Tide. Definitely come to Infrasound. Both of those are gonna be awesome.
I didn't know that thing about the sets end at 1. That's actually definitely appealing to me.
It ends at 11 on Thursday. It's Thursdays 11 and then Friday and Saturday are 1.
That's like doable, dude.
It's so doable. And honestly, like, okay, so I used to be like, when I used to go to a festival as a fan, like only as a fan, like I slept. Like no one should be sleeping like how I was sleeping. I would like sleep on the ground. I would like,
you're a good sleeper?
I would just be like, this is what I got. Like I just came to festivals just woefully unprepared. And like now that I actually have like a tent and like Infra and summer camp, well, it was Soul Shine last year, were the first 2 times like I went to go get this tent and I looked at Walmart. I was like, oh, these look reasonable. And then I got there and I was like, oh shit, like these are way more expensive than I thought. And I was walking out with this really shitty tent that I was really sad that this was what I was going to buy, but I needed a tent. And then there was like, have you seen those instant tents?
The ones where they kind of like
pull up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could pull a string. They was on clearance for $50. It was I looked at it, was like a $200 tent. So I got that and an air mattress, and like I was like, oh, this is how you can sleep at a festival. Holy shit, this is awesome.
Dude, I actually, last year I did some festivals and like did some interviews and stuff, and like I bought this one tent. It's like I've seen them a bunch. They have like the dark, like it's like darker in them.
Oh, okay.
They're like the Coleman dark whatever the fuck. But I bought it because I was waiting for this other tent that was like, I was doing research, and it's one of those ones where it's like the hamper that you put your clothes in, where it just like unfolds and then it just like is
okay.
upright, but it had reflective material on the outside, so it didn't get as hot inside. And I never got to try this tent. I returned it because I was like, I can't have two tents, and I already opened this one. I already used it because this one didn't come on time, but I still want that tent because that's the biggest part about festivals for me, where it's just like it gets too hot and I'm just like, I can't sleep.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I feel like that's like summer camp was always one of those. It's like the summer camp weather was always something to take in. It was either you're like in 95 degree and this is like the hottest thing ever, or it's like, oh my God, it's like torrential downpour and thundering and lightning. It's like there was like barely ever an in-between at summer
Like,
camp.
oh, we got a nice cool breeze coming.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, usually be like 95 the first 2 days, then you get a ginormous rain, and then the last day would be like nice temperature, but everything is just muddy. So, but that was part of the charm, I think, of summer camp. Like we made our own mixed drink. Well, I guess I made a mixed drink that I dedicated to summer camp, which is Jägermeister and orange juice. And it comes out brown, and we just called it mud.
That's like it's not quite a hobo mix, but it's like,
I feel like that's a good description. A hobo mix.
dude, that's funny. So that's like what festivals are all about. You know what I mean? Like finding those weird, you're like, that's what we had. And then we just made mud and we drank mud, dude.
No, and I feel like you can definitely, like, in the scene, tell when people have like been in it. Like they like, not only do they know like how to like either be a good agent or be a good artist or be a good manager, whatever part they want to do. Like you can tell when like someone knows because they've been there and done it, and like they know what a fan wants because they've done the stupid shit that like they've been the fans and done the stupid things that they've done. And like for me, those are always the people that I love working with, because they're like, we know what everyone wants, because that's what I would want. Like that's what I want when I go see the artists that I love, and when I'm like fanboying over seeing like just a band or like an artist or something. Like there's certain things, but I think it's pretty easy sometimes to tell when it's just like you haven't done those things. Like you don't think about those things because you haven't been inside the pit of a festival, smoked DMT.
Dude, if you haven't smoked DMT, you can't be a manager.
Can't be a manager.
Yo, rip this shit.
No, but that's
that's
just a joke. But
those scenes where it's like to prove that you're in a gang and that you're not a cop.
yeah, I feel like that has to be like the like the approval thing. It's like, have you done this?
Have you smoked the toad venom? That's a little next level, but like, you know what I mean. Yeah, that is yo, what's up guys? It's your host Jerry again. I really hope that you're enjoying today's episode. I know that I enjoyed having the conversation. Just gotta be that squeaky wheel here and let you guys know to please go subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment. Honestly, the 5-star reviews on the podcast platforms, that's big too, because otherwise it just doesn't get promoted, and it's, we're fighting that upward battle, that uphill battle. But yeah, I know you're just thinking in your head like, Jerry, can we get back to the episode? Yes, we can. All right. Yeah, we're gearing up for festival season. It's amazing to me how like we're recording this at the end of March. This will probably come out like whenever, late April or something, and it just feels like festival season is so close. And it's just gonna start ramping up, and there's so many festivals. I just saw this one festival that's in Iowa. It's got like G. Jones and Immersive and like all these. It's got a lot of names out in Iowa. I was like, damn, bro. But like that's what always happens is like some new festival comes up and I'm like, oh, okay, what?
Yeah, I remember I went to Iowa, like my first semester of college. I went to Iowa State, and I remember it's not a festival anymore, but they used to have this festival called 515 Alive. And I remember I got to Iowa State, like the first thing I did pretty much was go see, I think it was Tech Nine into Gucci Mane into Grizz, and I still think about it.
That's actually fire.
It was so funny.
Dude.
It was really fun, but I look back on it like that's such a funny thing to have like I get to college. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go see Tech Nine, Gucci Mane, and Grizz in Iowa.
Dude, crazy, honestly.
Yeah. No, but it was pretty cool. And like Iowa's like weirdly always had like a kind of cool scene. I mean, like I feel like they always have like a lot of people who are like very passionate about what they want to do. Like speaking of like when you asked about the first NSW show, like I played that show with Ted, Osis, the first one, the Avondale one, and I got off, and like 15 minutes later, I had like an offer to play a festival in Iowa, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I guess that was the first thing. I was like, "Okay, maybe like people do like this." I was like, but still, to me, like it blows me away. I still like thinking like, "Well, why do people like this?" Like, I mean, but I think that's every producer in the back of their head. They're just like, my music isn't that good. It's not like, and then because like it's always just the imposter syndrome kind of just sitting in you, like, especially now, like I've like being on that Snowda lineup, I was like, what the fuck am I doing on this? Like I'm like looking at all these names, I'm like, these are guys that like when I found out about this music, I was like, these are the shit. Like these guys are awesome. Like looking at like Faceplant, looking at Smigonaut, looking at like Restraint, looking at Kyoto, like looking at Mickman, any of these guys, like I mean Mickman, hell is like I was like like I talked about this like a bunch of my friends was just like, I mean, I was like chopping rhythm right when I first got into it because like the first thing I ever saw was like a Lollapalooza set. I saw Martin Garrix and I was like, nothing beats this. I was like, so like I was definitely into that. I wasn't super into electronic music at first, and that's kind of for a lot of people, that's the first thing that like you get into. It's like future, especially at that time.
Oh yeah,
like,
future bass was big.
Like future bass and like big room house, and everyone's just like, yeah.
It's still fire. I love the trap, big room trap.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like Flostradamus for a period of time was kind of like big room trap, like RL Grime for a period.
Yeah, dude, yeah, and RL Grime, like that. I mean, he was super innovative, especially stylistically wise for like when he came out. Dude, I'm talking about Martin Garrix. I don't know why this came in my head. Do you remember that like video of?
Wait, keep talking. Yeah.
Of Deadmau5. He like made an Animals remix that he played, but like. He changed the like main melody to be Mary Had a Little Lamb or something.
No.
Yeah, it was like an ultra instead of doing like and she was like do. It was just like so funny. But yeah, no, I used to love that stuff. And then I was like looking for new rhythm songs and like dubstep songs to find to chop, and I was like, because I thought I was such a badass, I was like, dude, I can play 4 songs at the same time and go. I mean, that's still cool.
Like with the
doing that. But then I was looking for a new rhythm, which is funny given McMahon has been having all this Instagram stuff about saying he's making rhythm and then people getting butthurt. But I was looking for or just having their opinions. I was looking for like new stuff like that. Then I found Particle Party and Check the Beat, and I was like, oh, okay. No, like, and I had like a more instant reaction to that music than I did to Tipper. And I think it was just something about the kind of like also, I think it was just the fact that Tipper had like more of a discography that like kind of how you were talking about Frank Zappa. Like I didn't know where to start. So I think some of the stuff I listened to wasn't exactly like I think seeing it live is a great indicator if you're gonna like it or not, because then you're like, okay, you're seeing a bigger repertoire of different stuff. But like immediately when I heard Cam's music, I was like, I get this, and this has a lot more going on than the music I've been listening to, and that led me into like Kyoto, Frequent, Copycat, Mr. Bill, all those guys. And like now I'm like fucking lucky enough to say like some of these guys are like homies, and that like literally if you told me that like 2-3 years ago, I would have been like, no.
Not me.
Not a chance in hell. But that's like definitely just I guess in some way just encouragement to anybody, just like if you're doing the thing you want to do, just like don't fucking stop. But like regardless, just really outreach is so huge, trying to like talk to as many people as you can, because you never know when that like you get to meet that one person that sends you into the stratosphere of like, because so many people are so good like that just like no one knows they're that good. And it sucks because you do really want music just to truly speak for itself, and you really like in an ideal world just being good at making something, whether it be art, acting, doing like draw, like making music, whatever you want to do. Hopefully everyone, if you're good, will get recognized. It's just sadly like that's not true, and like that's like I'm just so extremely lucky that like I had like people like Brett and a lot of the people in my Chicago scene, because I got like there's a lot of things that I got expedited with because they believed in me. And it is definitely important to like always remember that like sometimes you're given opportunities that not every single person's given, and like don't like beat yourself up on that, but be very grateful. And don't take the time to like look at other people that are killing it, that maybe have not been getting like the time of day, and just like make sure that you're doing your part to do what other people did for you, because you should be putting on all the talent that like is out there. I mean, that's like really, really important for me. I mean, like my whole Black Box show is pretty much people from my pond. Well, the pond. It's not even my pond. It's our pond.
Pond 2.
Yeah, our pond too. And I don't know. For me, it's just been like super important to just like kind of look around and just try to do your best to be like, you see some cool shit, don't just like gatekeep things, or just like try your best to make sure that like to put on everyone you can. I mean, like another group of people that put me on super hard is like the Allo Collective. Those are the homies. Feel came and scratched during the Sonoda set, which was super fun. But those guys have been there like since the beginning and have been like astronomically nice to me. Like I can't even express. Like Thought Process was like,
yeah, I interviewed him at Lunar Tide.
yeah, he's like, so like Thought Process was like, I
so nice.
Put
dude,
my mixtape 1 out, which was like the first thing I really ever released, was just like 30 minutes of music that like I'd been working on for a while. And like Thought Process posted it on his Facebook group, the Think Tank. And I didn't even know, I don't use Facebook. I just got like a message from my like friend Valletta. She's like, Thought Process just posted your mix. I was like, what? But then me and Feel have definitely gotten really, really close. Like we've done multiple back-to-backs. Like I would consider him one of my better friends. He's such an awesome person and means like a ton to me. And then Parker and TF Mars, I haven't met. Like I know Parker really well. Like I see him all the time. He means like the world to me. But like we haven't hung out as much, and I don't know TF Mars as much. But like that whole crew of people are just like just wonderful, wonderful people. But yeah, like it kind of just goes back to that. Just like when you get the opportunities, make sure you dish them out. Like, and that's always been like a huge thing for me, trying my best to include all the people that like have done stuff for me and people that I see. Like Squonk has been someone who is just like killing the game. And Zach honestly showed me him, Crawdad Sniper. I'm so bad at listening to electronic music. He's like, this was back when we did the 3 of a Kind tour. It was like me, Charles Nimbus, and Crawdad. And he was like, yo, for this Harrisburg show, I'm thinking about adding this guy Squonk. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he sends me his music, and I was just like, really bad. I just didn't listen to it. But I was like, I trust you, Zach. But then we got to his house in Harrisburg because he lived there, and I got to meet him, and I was like, oh, this guy's like really nice. This guy's really cool. And And then we do sound check, and he goes up and plays a song, and I look at Zach. I was like, "Yo, dude, what the fuck?" And me and Squonk actually have an EP coming out. He's on the Black Box show. We're gonna be teasing some music. I think that's gonna be coming closer, like probably later April.
Look out for it. It might be out.
Yeah. No, yeah, probably closer to like after this is getting released. But yeah, I think it's just like, I think the community aspect has been something that I think has made this genre especially really cool, because we're pretty small in the glitch hop scene. And I feel like a lot of people are so open, regardless of how big they are as artists, to give out information about how to do things. Because I think a lot of people understand that some of the hardest parts, or like most confusing parts, can be making these weird noises if you don't know how to do it. But like, knowing how to make weird noises isn't going to make you write a good song. Like, you still need to write a good song. Like, you can make a crazy bass, that's not going to make you write a good song. And I think a lot of people have understood that and are seeing, and regardless, just want to be like, it's just like a flow. It's like, and I think it's especially during COVID, with all the Patreon stuff happening, I feel like you saw just like a flood of information, which was really cool. I think it really started with the KOAN Sound one. I felt like a big one where people were like, whoa.
That was a good Patreon.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was a big deal. Like, when you get someone like that big, like that knowledgeable, and like that game changing, kind of being like, this is how you can do the bass thing, and everyone's like, oh.
That's how I felt with Disclosure. They just started going
Oh, really?
hard on Twitch. I think it was Twitch, and like the one guy, I forget what their names are, but obviously
Isn't one, I think one of them's named Guy.
yeah, no, yeah, one of them is named Guy. But so the more like engineering guy, I'd say that there's one that's more like an engineer, and then the other, they're both wicked talented, and then the other one would come in and just like play these crazy bass lines. But that stream, for some reason, I was like, whoa, this is a lot of keys to the city. Like, the tips are really good. It's just like, here's how I make a song as Disclosure, and it's just like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
And that's, it's genre specific, but those guys also, they get into a lot of
They
different
do
stuff.
tons of different stuff. Yeah, Disclosure's so sick. My friends love Disclosure.
They're so good. Yeah.
That's a group I've really wanted to see.
But KOAN Sound specifically for like, that's the more glitch hoppy stuff. But and they have like, they do a lot of different stuff too.
Yeah, like when the KOAN Sound one I did for a bit, I feel like the KOAN sound is so distinct
Yeah.
that like, I think there was a lot of like baseline tools that were super helpful to like watch, but then it started getting to a point I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm like learning how to make KOAN Sound music, but that's like, I'm not trying to make KOAN Sound music.
Yeah, you want to make your own stuff. Are there any other Patreons that you are a part of?
Reslang's is really cool. Kyoto's is always really, really awesome. The 400 Club is starting a podcast, or a Patreon alongside their podcast, and they're all producers, and they drop really, really sick samples. I know Turnian Sounds is sick. I don't really know what's happening with their Patreon, given
They're disbanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them will do it. I feel like that's what happens when people kind of like, I mean, depending on the situation, it's like maybe one person's like, oh, I was like mostly the Patreon guy, so like, let's just keep doing it.
Yeah, because I mean, like, all that stuff's up there. Like, and it's like, what's the point of just deleting it? It's like because people are gonna still like hop on to like get those things. Like, people, those are packs that like, because essentially at that point you're paying like $5 to download all the things that they used to have. There's no point of like disbanding this Patreon.
Yeah, for sure. Patreon is an interesting platform, and I don't think it's perfect, but I have considered maybe instead of doing the like, YouTube and everything like that, maybe doing something where it's like $1 a month and you get everything. Or like, here's a lifetime, like you pay a lifetime fee. I don't know if they do lifetime fee things.
I think they do, actually.
But like something where it's like very small amount of money.
Yeah.
But the one thing I get concerned about, especially with podcasts, is ease of use? Like, do you got to go to Patreon to listen to the podcast? That doesn't feel very natural. Or do you have to like add it to your RSS feed? Like, that's...
I know some people do like Patreon exclusives where they'll be like most of their stuff is just on YouTube, and then like if you pay an extra, like you get a few extra episode, like an extra episode a week or something.
Yeah, and that's cool. I've thought about that too. I really just want to do everything for free.
Yeah,
like I think that that's cool. It's just I think information should be free. But I've thought about like, yeah, pay like a one-time fee of like $50, and then you just get everything for the rest of your life. You're just a member, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe that's also not, I don't know. It just depends on the tier of your information. But it's like, who's the fucking arbiter of like how good your info is?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I have considered this though. But yeah, that's just my own personal thing. Maybe in the future we'll do like $1 Patreon and you can...
No, I think there's tons of fun stuff you can do, just like little bonus content things.
Yeah.
I know some people like will do like... I don't know, you could do like online like mail like gift stuff that like like little like like some like just random things that you could send people.
I just want people to, if they're gonna give me money, I want to give them something that's actually valuable. You know what I mean? I mean that could even be certain like maybe like you get half the episode, and then if you want the full episode, you got to go to Patreon. But then it's like you're bifurcating the audience, you know what I mean? I don't know, this is just shit that I've thought about, but anyway, this is not the podcast for that. But yeah, man, random question that I wanted to ask you is are you a big cheese guy? Like you like that Gouda?
Yeah.
Like you like that you like that sharp cheddar?
I just like actually funny enough was watching this video of this like Italian cheese. I gotta remember what it's called that I really want to try now, but like they make it and then they form it and they pretty much like put it in this clay pot and let it sit for like a while. And then they crack the clay pot and then it's like this really, really pungent, like almost like spicy cheese. And I have to look what it's called. I'll look it up. But that's been piquing my interest a lot.
Oh yeah, that's been on your radar?
Yeah, honestly, I like most cheeses besides I'm not. Once it gets to the really funky cheeses, it starts getting out of my range. Like I'm not a big blue cheese person, but pretty much anything else, and especially like melted cheese, gets me going.
Little Philly cheesesteak action, yeah. So I mean, part of the question is like, why cheese? And then, like, yeah, I don't know, cheese, dude.
So the why cheese part was just my like two main things. I mean, it's like the whole everyone like if you're laughing like there's the cheesing like oh that dude's cheesing.
Right. I feel like you definitely cheese too. Like you like like you got a good laugh and like you cheese.
Yeah.
Like when people say cheese to smile for a picture, you do that.
Well, then it was that, and then my brother had a hat from I think it's one of the Disneyland or Disney World. I don't remember which one. I think it's might be Disney World.
Just say Disney World because it's like cooler.
The cooler one. Yeah, it was Disney World. But it was like a hat with Mickey Mouse on it, and it said "Big Cheese." And he left it, and it had tons and tons of pins on it. And I took all the pins off, and I started wearing it like a bunch, and it became like one of my favorite hats. So I think it was like the combination of those two. And then I lost that hat, and I like was so upset that I went and found it on eBay and bought another one. And now I'm going to buy another one, and that'll be version 4 of the Big Cheese hat. Like
you got to make your own.
That is
in the works.
that will be coming. But yeah, no, that's an important hat to me. Like if I like I need to have at least some version of that hat in my life at all times because that's important. But now they don't sell them, so it's all eBay. So I need to buy like 15 of them, and then just keep them on hand. I'll monopolize the market of the big cheese hats.
Yeah, you want one of these hats? Gotta come to me.
I have all of them. But yeah, that's like mainly it. It was kind of funny. Like I remember saying that. I was telling Brett, my ex-manager, I was like, I'm gonna name myself Cheese. And he was just like, I don't think you should do that.
Like you were thinking cheese, like Cheese.
The first iteration was really bad. Honestly, if I would have picked this one, he would have been right. It was CH33S3. That's bad. That would have been bad.
I mean, in terms of like searchability, it probably would have been like the only one.
Yeah. Well, and that was the part about I did a bunch of different ways of writing it. I just didn't like how just writing out cheese looked. Something about the Chez writing, like the French kind of writing, like really, I liked that a lot. It looked cool. I then found out, there's a lot of people with CHEZ in their name. So then I had to, like, when I first released my mixtape so that people could find me, it became Cheese_music. And then I finally whittled myself down on SoundCloud to just being Cheese, which was a big, big moment for me. That was another bucket list, I would say, was to take get like all the other stuff besides Cheese off the SoundCloud, and then people could still find me. And now they can. So now I took everything off. Now it's just Cheese, and now you can see my name. I'm like, I did it. Because at the beginning, if you looked up Cheese, and I kept it Cheese because I tried it first. That was what I first put up, and I looked myself up, and literally, like, you could not find me. Like, I was like, this is bad. I can't be called this. But yeah, that was big. I was like, that was literally like 2 months ago. I talked to someone about it because I changed it to CHEZ.music spelled normally, not with a Z and a K. And I was like, okay, we're getting places. We're getting more professional. And I brought it up to someone who was like, dude, you're probably like good enough to just make it Cheese at this point. And I was like, holy shit, I haven't thought about that. I was like,
light bulb.
I was like, holy fuck, I haven't thought about that. And I did it. And then like I had some people look it up and like, yeah, you come up. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah,
I was so pumped. I was like so happy.
Do people give you like cheese, or like is there cheese jokes in the ether? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, I remember it was funny, like the first Infrasound I ever went to, we met this guy. His name's he's a producer, his name's Mike Rat. But we didn't really know him like for his music at that time. I had never played a show at that time. But he gave us cheese, and we ate that cheese, and we were pretty stoked on his cheese. And then I ended up playing a show with him in Minnesota, and I was just like, I hit him up. I was like, hey, just let you know, like, I was like, do you remember those people that you gave cheese to at Infrasound a few years ago? He's like, yeah, I think I do. I'm like, that was me. And that was like a whole moment. He took a video at my Infraset. He was just like holding a plate of cheese. I had like a girl in Iowa just come up and like, honestly, I didn't even know what to do with it. Like, because they were serving like chili, which was so funny. And there was shredded cheese for the chili at the show. And I'm playing, and she just comes up with like a bowl of shredded cheese. And I'm like, this isn't even like a slice. This is like so much harder to eat. Like, I'm mixing like a slice I could just like grab and put in my mouth. But now I have to like grab all this shredded cheese and try to put it in my mouth.
And then your hands are like greasy.
Or do I get cheese all over the decks? Like,
yeah, they're gonna be like, watch out for cheese.
Yeah.
He gets that slime on the decks.
Yeah, he gets the decks very cheesy. But I feel like most of it like has been more of the Chez cheese thing, which has definitely been fun. I don't know, it's funny because I didn't really think about it as Chez. I mean, some people brought it up being like, people might think it's that.
Well, that's how we introed it today, and we just said fuck it. We're just going with that intro.
No, and it's been funny because I know that some people have gotten kind of like adamant about like getting it right and like, what is it? And I'm like, I thought like a part of me honestly became like, it's just so fun like having it just be not a thing. I mean, yeah, like
People guessing, dude. They're like, "What is it, dude?"
Yeah. Well, and I just like I got to a point where I was like, I would be kind of sad if no one said it Chez anymore. I'd be like, it's kind of fun because it reminds me of like it brings me back to like no matter what, how far I get back. If someone calls me Chez,
It's
like,
humbling.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah,
Dude, that's your anchor.
No, like I remember I brought this up on the 400 podcast. They were like, my friend was like, literally one of the guys I was living with, my house was like, let's go cheese. And and then this girl turned around and she's like, it's Chez. And he was like, dude, I live with this guy.
It's Chez.
But no, I think that's like so fun. I remember Brett, my manager, was talking, like Mike Wallace came up to him at Submersion, and but like, forgive me for like my horrible British accent. But he was like, so is it like I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna say it because he's like,
that was not sounding British.
I was like, we're done. I was like, so is it like cheese or Chez? He was just like, oh, it's kind of like both. And he was like, oh, so it's a game. I was like, I love that.
So it's a game.
But
that's funny as fuck.
No, it's like I think it's so fun. So it always was technically cheese, but
okay, we
like to throw it at the Chez, like we like to oddball it. My friend Osis is always like, actually, it's Chez.
yeah. That's funny.
But it's like home in French, so we were saying that like if I ever do a house set, we should call it a Chez set. But still not differentiated. It still just looks like cheese.
It still looks the same.
Still looks the same.
But then you get people correcting people. Like, it's like the front line is like, it's Chez.
It's a Chez tonight. It's Chez tonight.
That's hilarious.
We were thinking about trying to make berets. That was a merch idea, but we don't know how to do it like where it makes sense.
A braise?
Berets.
Oh, berets.
Yeah, like a beret.
Oh my god, dude. I've just been thinking about Ratatouille for the last hour. No, I'm just kidding. Damn, dude. That's funny. You could do some fun merch for that.
Yeah, like I was just thinking how funny it would be to like look into a crowd and see a bunch of people wearing yellow berets. I feel like I've made it.
Dude, I don't think anyone's doing berets.
Yeah, who's doing berets? It didn't do very well when I voted. I made a vote, was like, but I also spelled beret wrong, so that might have not.
Oh, dude, I always spelled
did like
shit
Barrett. Right? I think that's a whole different hat.
It's a sniper.
Yeah. So, but I've been like, what are your opinions on corduroy hats?
Oh, dude, we got the Poducer.
Oh, okay, sick. I couldn't tell it was a corduroy. Yeah, because I haven't been wearing. Like, I haven't worn too many. I really like the style. People have been like loving 5 panels. I am not like, the biggest.
I can't rock a 5 panel.
Yeah, that was like my thing. It's like
well, it depends. You know, like the A-frame one where it's like it's a 5 panel, but it's got that like point.
Oh, okay,
you know
okay.
Like this one, I think is technically a 5 panel because
but it has like a little, but
it's got a little.
Yeah. It doesn't like cup your head as much. Like I have like the only 5 panel I have is like I don't even know if I still have it. I need to go buy another one. They're like $5. Like, but Aldi's has a 5 panel hat and it's so funny.
You ever seen the Aldi shoes?
No.
I was at Aldi the other day and they had Aldi shoes. I was like, bro, what if I got these?
No, obviously, I might go to Aldi's and get a full out Aldi's fit. I feel like that would honestly be so on brand.
They have, honestly, in the festival scene too, I'm sure people are like always buying Aldi shit for the fest. And like, dude, I just think that stuff is funny. Like we were talking before that we both have the Kirkland sweatshirt and your buddy was saying how it's like coveted. Like you like can't, you're like, dude, you got one of those? That's amazing. You should sell it. It's like, I feel like Aldi, there's potential.
Yeah, we gotta like gatekeep the Aldi's. We gotta hit them up with like a marketing plan for only selling them at certain points of the year. Make them really limited.
Dude. They're pretty
savvy. Send me some money.
Yeah, just send me money.
Send me money. I got ideas.
Dude, but honestly, the beret thing, if you could get like something like that where just on the whatever the merch item is, that it's you before it even says cheese on it. It's like that would be successful.
Yeah, well, and it looks like, I don't know, from like, it doesn't look like something I could make money from, but I just don't really care. Like, if I broke even on berets, having berets is sick. I think just
Do
like,
you have a beret? Or maybe you could
I don't think I would ever wear it. I'm not a beret wearer.
What about like, like my friend, this is so random, but he started working like as like a contractor, and he's working with this guy, and he wears like the like paper boy hat, like those, like in the back in the day, everyone just had a hat.
Yeah,
dude, you could do one of those also. I don't know if that's in the beret family, but yeah, that could be hot.
Yeah, that'd be so funny.
Like bucket hats are big, right?
Yeah,
like, berets could be next.
Wait, the berets are the next bucket hat.
Dude, no joke. I already know that if like fucking Dom Dalla started wearing a beret, or like if no, wait, who am I thinking of? If Fisher started wearing a beret, or like John Summit, people be like, dude, it's swag.
No, so yeah, this is the plan. So I guess we got to make berets and then make Dom Dalla a custom beret. So he wears it. Then people get like, oh shit, berets are in. And then
then you drop yours.
And then we drop berets. And then
we
say, hey, we also made that Dom Dalla beret.
Ooh. Yeah. Or maybe you just go, like the Wisconsin, like the Green Bay Packers, how they just have the cheese heads.
Yeah, my friend bought me, well, because it's funny, we do Secret Santa with all my high school friends, and one of my friends is a Packers fan, and I'm obviously a Bears fan, but he got me as a Secret Santa, and he got me the big cheese head because he knew that I would half be like, fuck yeah, half be like, fuck you. So like, I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. I've been thinking about like throwing it out in the crowd and as like a parting gift to maybe to someone who's a cheese head. So I love my cheese. You
can't rock that. Yeah,
it's kind of, there's one that I would, and they don't really sell it. There's like a cheese top hat. It's still Packers, but I think I would sacrifice it for the top hat vibes.
Dude, maybe you could like put some mold on it, like fake mold. So it's like,
mold.
Yeah, get real mold, just inhale mold. But like, that could be like you're disrespecting the hat.
Yeah.
And then in that sense, it would be okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe. I know. I mean, I still love it. I've worn it a decent amount, especially when I was like living at that house. But
you can't DJ with that on either. Like, how? Do you get
it falls off really easily. Yeah. Like, it does not stay on. I would need like a strap, like a chin strap. That would look so goofy.
A chin strap. Now I'm just trying to think of other things that people wear that like you could get into the market with. Like, what's like another hat that people?
Yeah, what's like another fun hat?
Yarmulkes? That might be a little. That might not go over well. I don't know, but or like those Fez hats.
Oh, Fez hat would be really funny, actually.
Fez hats could.
If we did a collab, like a double merch run of berets and Fez hats.
Imagine just the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous logo on the Fez hat. I think people would buy them.
I don't know. Whenever I see the Fez hat, I think about Will Smith and Austin Powers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean Will Ferrell?
Oh, Will Ferrell. Yeah,
I was
Will
like,
Ferrell,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, Will Ferrell and
Dude,
Austin Powers.
I have a Fez hat because I went. My group of friends did Austin Powers themed for Halloween, and I went as Mustafa.
Oh, okay.
Or Mustafa. Yeah, I thought it was Mufasa for a second.
Yeah, I think that's lying.
Mustafa, dude. He's like, I'm very badly burned.
I was like, oh, everything hurts.
Yeah, dude. Classic. All right, well, we're going to penetrate the market with something. We're going to keep brainstorming.
Yeah, we're going to keep brainstorming hats.
But yeah, let's listen to a track before, I don't know why I'm about to say before we get too deep. I just say that before I pull up a track sometimes. We're already way deep, bro.
We're deep.
We're deep. Should we do...
Yeah, what were
Boop?
the twos I sent?
We got Boop for... I Can't
Oh,
read
Boot
that.
for Ride, I think, and then
Boot
I
for
said
Ride.
another one too. I think it was
Fuck.
Fuck Turkeys. Yeah, we could do that one too. That one will be out. But
Fuck turkeys.
yeah, this was what we're using as promo for the EP for the Squonk one. But this will still not be. The EP still won't be out by this time. So
We're gonna
Yeah,
have to
we
hit
should-
that
this one- yeah, I played this one at Sonoda. This one's definitely really fun. I'm stoked on this one.
Anything we need to say before we say it or before we play it?
So we worked on it, and the reason it's
And
called
it's done.
and the reason that it's called Fuck Turkeys is because we started it. We kind of got it to a point we thought it was pretty playable. Then Squonk had a show, and he calls me. He's like, "Okay, I'm heading out." And then it's like an hour later, I see his story, and it's like him in his car. He's like, just got on the road, having a good ride. Then this happens, and he literally a turkey flew into his windshield.
Damn.
And so then we decided to call the song "Fuck Turkeys."
Banger.
That's pretty much all I think you need to know.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I think it gives the vibe.
The mix on this is cool.
Yeah, no,
It's clean.
yeah, definitely the version 10. We got it down.
Word, I like that. That one's quick and dirty, dude.
Yeah, no, that's I'm pretty excited about that EP because it's all just in your face, not in your face, but in the I guess in the sense of they had it's not huge, long, complicated songs. They're 4 bangers that were really have been playing for a bit. But they're all around that 2.5 minute. They're quick and dirty. I think everyone besides one is at that 105 BPM range. That really quick
Mhm.
I've been loving that stuff. I've been trying to go back to make an 85, and I still love to do it. It's just usually hard for me to go from making it 105 to 85 because I'm oh god, this is so slow. And but I've just been loving doing that. I think a lot. The mixtape 3 was the first time I really had a lot of stuff in that range of tunes, and honestly, James Squonk was someone who got me really into it. He made a few hundred tunes. I was dude, there's just a pacing to this that's so fun. There's an energy. But yeah, that's definitely the most. I would probably say the more fun, bubbly tune on the EP. There's one that's pretty aggressive that I love that I've been playing. That's also on the mixtape. But yeah, that one I'm really, really excited about. We got that, and then that the next probably big. That's probably the next big release, and then the one after that will be me and Zach Crawdad will be dropping a 2 Guys EP after Infrasound, which will be pretty sick. Plus, like, I mean, we have a bunch of tunes that we are starting for Infrasound. A few of them done that are like we are not allowed to play them, neither of us, until Infrasound. So it's been fun. We're really, really trying. It's like really important for us. We don't want the 2 Guys project to become hey, this is just another name for us back to backing. Because we've done that. We've back to back before. We don't want it just to be us playing like, hey, this is half the tunes you'd see in a Cheese set, and this is half the tunes you'd see in a Crawdad set, and now it's just mixed together. We really want this to be like this is a separate thing, but we don't want it to be like, oh, this is like, we're not gonna be like reinventing the wheel of what we're doing like stylistically, but we want to have things like these are 2 Guys songs. You see these songs when you see 2 Guys. That was pretty important to us.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like having them separate, because otherwise,
it's just like, what's the point of promoting it this hard if it's like literally just a back to back?
yeah,
So I think like that's going to be a big thing for us, and that's why like, I think we're both really, really, really excited, especially moving in together. It's like we're gonna have like a month and a half before Infrasound to really dial in some like new tunes for that, and we're both trying to like play some tunes that people would not expect us to play, which is gonna be fun. I think there's gonna be a lot of surprises at Infrasound that people are like, what the fuck is going on? But like in the best way possible. They're like, this is really good. I remember we showed Hudson Lee. He was in like our Discord, and he was
dude, I interviewed Hudson Lee like a million years ago.
oh, he's a nice guy. And he showed us like this tune he was working on, and me and Zach we're working on this tune. All I'll say is that it's an 80s rock song that we're making an edit of. And his tune was fucking sick, and then he's like, hey, it's like, show me what you guys are working on. And like Hudson like makes really like awesome, like beautiful music, really well thought out. And here we are, we're making an 80s rock song edit. And
The Boys Are Back in Town?
No, it's not. We're not giving any hints because it's a big one. We're really excited about it.
Is that even 80s? It's like probably in there.
Probably like late 70s, 80s.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just like, that's another thing that's so funny is I listened to so much music when I was a kid. And of like different like time periods of like through like anywhere from like 50s to like 2000s or whatever, but I never really looked at the dates when I was a kid. So for like me, it was always just like, that's just older music. Like, so I'm
Those are classics.
Yeah, I'm just like so like I like love all that stuff. I'm so bad at like nailing down like if it's like really clear like this is psych rock, I could pretty much get it, but like there's sometimes like I don't know. I know it's older. But yeah, we were showing. He's like, let's hear the song, and both me and Zach were like shitting our pants, like, oh, he's about to hate this. And like we end it, and we were like, because he started laughing when the drop happened. We're like, oh god, he hates it. And then it ended. He was like, okay, that was so awesome. I was like, okay, fuck yeah. If we got the Hudson seal of approval, I think we're good.
Yeah. That makes, because his I don't want to say his music is serious, but it's like very well thought out.
Yeah, no, like that's like him, Frequent, all like they have that. I feel like that whole upscale like vibe is like very like technical, but like they're still really goofy and do like
yeah,
but it's like it's very beautiful, pretty, kind of like thought out.
Meeting Copycat and realizing how much of a goofball he is. I was like, what? Your music is so different from your personality.
Yeah,
but in the best way. Like I was just pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, no, like those guys are really, really fun.
Also, just Aussies are just like
a
good time.
I mean, I know people had their opinions on him getting on the mic and stuff. I think it's
wait, what? Is there controversy?
Like, I don't know. I know that people didn't love like that he gets on the mic a decent amount, and he definitely like it's almost like bits that he has. It's like almost like you're like mixing like a very small amount of a comedy special into your hour-long DJ set. I think it's hilarious. I don't know. I've just gotten more into like, just please do something that other people aren't doing because it makes me like more interested. Like last year at Infrasound, it was like not even close who the person I was the most excited to see, and it was Anklepants. Like it was not even.
Well, I mean, that's like
I was just like,
that is insane.
it was for me. It was mostly just like, this is like, I don't even care about this is more of an experience to me. Like I have
People
never
who don't know who Anklepants is. He has a penis as a nose and like a full face mask, and the penis moves like animatronically. Like
yeah, no, it was wild, and it was like it was me.
I felt very old saying penis. Dick, dude.
Yeah, he has a dick on his nose.
Now that felt weird though.
No, but I was with like
I don't like sorry,
like,
I'm still on this.
I just remember I was with Crawdad and some like the homies, and we were like, it was like the main, I think it was like the headliner of the night. It's like halfway through, we're like, okay, it's time for Anklepants. And then we just like marched
peace.
out.
Gotta go. Yeah.
And we were like so ready. We were like, got a really good spot. And this was like the equinox. So it was when they do in the hangar area, it's the 360 stage.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like right up to the rail. We're like ready. And then we're kind of like, yo, what the... Is he gonna like march into the center of this area past all of us? But then like a guy gets on the mic and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, like like take your attention to the front of the stage. Look at the speakers, because here comes Anklepants. And he has these like sensors on his shoes that like, so when he steps, it like makes these big boom noises, and you just like see this man. We're like, oh my god,
what? That is legendary.
Yeah, and we were like front row, and it was really, really subby because they were setting it up to like hit in the middle, because like that's where it was for the whole weekend. So like it was really subby when you were really close to the subs, and kind of didn't sound like music at first because it was so subby. But like we were kind of in it for the view. I guess you can call it the view. And then at one point I was like, I'm gonna take a step back because this is like only sub, and I want to like hear if this is actually music. And then I backed up. I was like, oh shit, this is actually like really good music. I was like, this is actually pretty fucking good. But yeah, I just like I love watching people take risks. And I guess that's less of a risk. He's been doing that for a long time. I think that's more of just seeing something.
First time though,
yeah,
just popping out. I mean, I'm sure his setup has gotten more complex as well.
Yeah. Oh, well, have you ever heard the crazy Anklepants? It's like honestly one of my favorite stories that like supposedly Anklepants was playing a show, and some guy on a bunch of acid was not having a good time. Understand?
I would not want to be on acid.
Yeah, and he like went up, and I think he like Anklepants told us on the Mr. Bill podcast or something, but he went up and like unplugged his shit and like turned all the music off, and then Anklepants proceeded to run and sprint after the guy and beat the shit out of him.
Oh my
and I
God.
couldn't imagine a worse thing than being on acid, already being scared to the point you had to unplug it, than having the guy who's scaring you sprint after you and beat you up.
Oh my
I
God.
feel like that would be terrible.
Please, like, if you don't know who Anklepants, just stop the podcast. It's the
Yeah,
only
look
time
up-
I've ever told anyone to stop, but like, just go look them up or keep it going, whatever. But like, we'll give you 5 seconds to do that. I'm just joking. We're gonna keep talking. I brought out this question book. This is something I have been doing on every episode. 3,000 questions. Pick a number between 1 and 3,000.
444. 4 is my favorite number. So
Okay.
that's the most amount of 4s we can get.
You're right. You're right. I had to think about that for 1 second. You know what? Before I'm gonna like give you the question, then kind of like make a change to it. What is the craziest thing you've ever asked Siri? And then, because like some people don't use Siri,
Yeah.
but like we can go like maybe like the craziest thing you've asked like ChatGPT or Googled? Like, you ever Google something and you're like, is this going to put me on a list?
Honestly, I probably just the AI songs I make.
Do you use Udio or Suno or?
I use Suno. I'm trying to figure out. Actually, this is kind of funny because I just accidentally. Didn't accidentally. I made this song. But like I put in. Do you know like the song "Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning"? It's like this. It was like a song that got. It was like a country song that got written right after 9/11.
Oh.
But I was like, write a song in this.
Wait, is that the one where it's like, where were you? Like that's like a South Park.
It's also in South Park, but they're making fun of that song. But yeah, it's like that was a real song. But I did it after that song, and then I was like prompting. I was like, but make it about busting nuts with the bros. And that's honestly,
Dude.
it's honestly one of the most legendary songs that I've ever heard. That's like my favorite chorus ever.
Can you send it to me, or is it like?
Yeah,
like,
actually, I can send it to you right now.
You could, or literally, you could just play it on. Okay, yeah. If you want to send it to me, we could play it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I like can
that's
send it to you
so
really fast.
funny.
I can send it to you really fast. I have it in my files on my phone because I sent it to other people.
What was the in the South Park episode? It's like, where were you when they built the ladder to heaven? But what episode is it about? Like,
I think it's because Kenny dies or something, and they're trying to build a ladder to get to Kenny.
oh my god, that's so funny. Okay, wait, I'm gonna stop recording really quick just to.
Wait, are we still like recording?
We're recording, yes.
Okay, yeah. So I sent this to one of my group chats, like my Instagram group chats. I was like, I named it "Sad Down Tempo Music."
Oh my god! So
and I said like, hey guys, I spent like the past 2 weeks working on this tune. It means like a lot to me.
Yeah.
If you would listen to this, and it just says "Sad Down Tempo," and it was this song.
Oh my god! All right, let's run it.
This might be my info recap song.
Dude, can you like use? Are we gonna get copyright?
No, because it's AI. We own this.
Moonlight, we stood by the fire, sharing stories of dreams and desires. A bond so strong it could never rust. Laughing together till dawn with trust. Busting fat nuts with the bros by our side.
Yes.
Wild ride, but with others.
Oh my god.
Nothing feels greater than moments like these. Unbroken harmony carried by the breeze.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hell yeah.
We shared the burdens, we wrestled with pain. But together
honestly, that's mostly the best part is the chorus.
I want to hear the chorus one more time.
Yeah.
With my brothers together, the good times flow. Busting fat nuts with the bros by our side. Life's a wild ride.
The "Life's a Wild Ride" is my favorite line.
Dude, no, yeah, 'cause it really brings it like
It ties it all in together.
you're like, yeah, like it's like someone's afterthought. They're just like busting fat nuts, then life's a wild ride.
When life's
Wow. Oh my god, there's a bridge.
No, dude, like the funniest part is usually when you put songs into this thing, it makes like a minute-long thing, and you have to extend it. I
Yeah.
gave it this prompt, and it was like, "Let me cook," and it cooked a 3-minute song. I didn't even have to ask. They're like, "No need. Like, if you want to extend it, we can make it 7 minutes if you want."
We got it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
we
so
got it.
funny.
who care. These fleeting moments, but we'll never forget.
Wow, it's really hitting me in the
Bros forever, with no regret. Busting fat nuts with the bros by our side.
Oh, this part's even like a.
Life's a wild ride, but
Oh, I thought it was a slightly different drum pattern, but maybe not.
feels greater.
All right, we'll fade that out. Wow, that like makes me want to like It has that like salute the troops type of thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. I was like, no, it's funny how like great. Well, I mean, the scary thing about it is like, luckily they haven't fed the like Tipper music into the algorithm yet. Because like I tried, I was like, I first started doing it because I wasn't gonna like release it, but like because I was like, I released or I was doing these funny things. I was like, then I kind of got scared. I was like, wait, can you just do this? And I was like, make Tipper funky up-tempo glitch up, and then it was like trance music, and I was like, okay, sweet, we are still good. That was a good sign. But like, I mean, that's the crazy thing. I mean, with the AI, the only reason it's not possible is because they haven't fed that music in.
I know, and I mean, like, you still can hear the artifact.
It doesn't sound perfect. I mean, I think it's a lot because of the vocals. I think the vocals.
You're right.
The vocals are really hard to replicate at the moment.
But also, I feel like with that style of music, sometimes like the sheen of it is like would be hard to replicate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a total believer that like we'll get there.
Oh yeah, and I mean I'm scared for when we get there, because I mean with glitch hop it's like something that you could say. I mean you could do the AI voice cloning too at this point, but I mean like still it's somebody's voice. Like I feel like that's something that like ties you to like that's them. Like you can hear their voice. But like once it starts becoming just like audio samples, you're cutting up like a glitch hop, like little vocal acapella right before a drop, and then it's all sound design. Like, how do I tell that a computer didn't make that if it starts becoming like you can't discern the difference? You're just like, oh, because you like pick out a singer, you're like, I'm just gonna pick someone random. That's so funny. I don't know why Celine Dion was the first person.
Good choice. Yeah,
but it's like. They have a voice that like is recognizable when you hear their voice, like you know what they sound like. But like I think with AI, it like in kind of electronic music where voices isn't as big of a thing, it's gonna become harder the better AI gets, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, I think about with samples now. It's like you could put together a song with like 4 loops, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But,
what's his name? The big. Fred again. That's like a whole thing. It was like people got all butthurt that like one of his really popular songs was literally like 4 different spice loops, and that was like it. But like, I mean, hey, he was the one who put them together, and there's like million. Like, I mean, think about all the different spice loops. It's like, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that's like the most like he tried the hardest on that song, but like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like there's hip hop tunes that people I think are like the most insane things ever. Even today when it's just as easy to like get these samples as like what he was doing, that bop just because stylistically that's what it's supposed to be. So I don't know. I'm always kind of like,
there is a different element to like electronic music, and like the thing that pushes it is like sound design a lot of times, and when you think of that, you think of someone sitting down and like tinkering and like exploring synthesis and shit like that. And this is not that. This is just like, I just prompted and it.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I guess it does just raise the question as to like, are people gonna care? Or like, they're only gonna care once they like know maybe that it's.
Yeah, I think
that
that's
it is
the bigger.
AI.
Yeah, I think that's the bigger thing. It's if they don't know, I don't think they're gonna care if there's like the ignorance part. Like, but. I mean, I know for me, just like inherently would be like knowing that someone that I like as an artist made something is going to make me like it more than if I knew an AI made it. Because I just know that like.
But that's like kind of the boys effect too. Like, do you feel like, because when you were saying before, like there's a lot of music and you're bad at listening to music sometimes, I feel the same way. There's so much music, and like a lot of times I only listen to someone's music because it like makes sense in my life. Like today I went through your discography and was just like, this is fucking sick. I like this. And like, I wouldn't have done that if there wasn't like a real world connection there. And like when you're friends with a lot of music producers, it's like, I listen to my friend's music, you know?
Yeah.
And
definitely.
that's like another draw to it. But we're also like we're not just like casual listeners anymore.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's like also so funny because it sounds so stupid. Like I've like I talked to Crawdad about this, where it's like it sounds so douchey when you say like, oh yeah, like I just don't listen to music the same anymore. But like it is kind of, and like it's like in any respect, like say if like you're a great drummer or something, like the things that you do, like whatever instrument you play or whatever facet you're in, like you're gonna pay attention to that stuff more. Like if you're like a drummer and you're gonna listen to the drum groove the most probably because that's what you're always listening to when you listen to music because you're trying to think about what these drummers are doing. I think the harder thing was when you become like a full on like the music production, like you're doing everything on the computer and stuff. Well, now you're just paying attention to everything.
Yeah, the mix.
Yeah, like the mix, the drums, like how did you make that synth? And I also in some way of like I feel like it's taken some of like the wonder away from like music.
Dude, yes, I remember listening to like fucking I think it was like freestyle mixtape or something to bring up fucking Nectar.
I was actually that's so funny because I was also gonna bring up Bass Nectar because I would think that was a really really good example of like an artist that for me kind of did that because like I think for a long time I like could not comprehend how like someone could do that and then
like make those noises.
Yeah, and then I started making more music. I was like, oh okay.
I remember hearing
okay.
I remember hearing like there's this thing called Massive and it's like a bass synthesizer. And I was like, what? That's crazy. But like, you know, learning about it, it's like it's not just a bass synthesizer, it's a synthesizer. A lot of people make basses with it. But I remember listening to like I think it was like one of his mixtapes, maybe freestyle, maybe a different one. And I remember sitting in my car, like stoned with my friend, just listening to it. And maybe the stoned part affected it. But I remember like seeing the music and thinking about like how it's moving. And now I can kind of do that. And I think I've gotten better at not overanalyzing music. But, you know, like one of the sounds, it did like this pitch bending thing. And you know how like pitch can be perceived as height in a mix? Like if something like is, you know, going upwards in pitch, like
it feels like it's elevating.
Yeah. And like it feels like it's going to the top of the speakers more so. And like one of the synths he was using was this bass synth and then it did that. And then it like started using an LFO. And I was like, I didn't know what these terms were before, but now I'm just like, oh shit, I know what he did. You know?
Yeah, no.
But back then it was like it was dancing. Like it was like this music was like dancing and moving in a way that like was crazy, you know? No. And I'm kind of sad that like I pulled the curtain back a little too far. Like the Wizard of Oz is just chilling there now.
No, and that's like for me, I feel like it's all the other mediums now that I still get to keep that wonder, like watching people paint or do stuff like that. I'm still like, at least I have that where I don't understand. Like I wish I could draw better. Like I never as a kid was like super into drawing. I just like to bang the shit out of things like a drum. That was my I really like that. I like doing that a lot. I don't know. I've always like my brain to the page for music was a lot clearer than my brain to art, where I was like, what I want in my head like is like really clear, and I always felt like I could translate that better musically than I ever could. Like, this is what I'm seeing in my head and trying to draw that. I couldn't really do that very well. That's why I've also been really lucky to have a lot of really, really talented artists like as friends and like people that like want to work like with me and do stuff, because that is definitely, because I definitely have the vision of what I want, but like having someone capture that vision has been super, super helpful.
Oh, it's the best when you get something back and you're like, dude, you nailed it.
Yeah,
this is
you killed
sick.
it. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, that's been really fucking fun.
Okay, so we talked about AI, so like we hit the mark, dude. Where that algorithm's gonna be happy, or maybe the algorithm actually probably like doesn't give a fuck about AI because it's like everywhere now. But at the risk of going too long, I feel like we could keep talking, but I'm actually a little bit worried that I'm like gonna run out of space on my computer.
No, I think this is perfect.
But like I always do a wrap up question, which is, we talked about the first concert you went to, but what was like a concert that you went to that was a game changer? Like you went to it and afterwards were just like, wow, I gotta do something like that. Or maybe you don't have to do something like that, but you're just like, wow, I didn't even realize that was a possibility.
I think okay, probably a newer one for me that would kind of fit that vibe was I think I was getting a little bit like not overwhelmed, just kind of done. Not like done, I don't know. It's just the whole electronic scene, going to a bunch of shows, like I just done it a lot and I felt like I was just like doing this a lot and
You were getting a little like, it's all the same.
yeah, I've just done this and then my friend Fishman, and my dad and my friend Ted and a few of us, my friend Rob.
For some reason, I thought you said your friend dad.
I think I might have said my friend dad.
I don't think you did. It's just in my head. We're gonna have to run it back.
If I said, roast me in the comments if I said my friend dad. But we went to see King Gizzard, and that was like a big one for me. I just definitely had not seen a band that tight, and I don't know, because I know that the glitch scene and the jam band scene have been super, super intertwined. Like a lot of people who love Tipper love like Mo and Humphreys and like String Cheese, STS9. Yeah, don't even get me started on Jamtronica. I will get haters. But,
Jamtronica, dude. You brought Sidub, which I maybe heard of at one point, but probably not. And then Jamtronica, I didn't really realize.
yeah, it's like
I love
kind of like
these
the STS90 Pretty Lights kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, now Pretty Lights has gone like full Jamtronica. Right?
Yeah.
At least with the new tour.
Well, yeah, with like the bands and like I don't know.
We don't have to get you haters.
Yeah,
That's okay.
yeah. But like I just kind of was getting like I felt like I was getting a little bored at shows. Besides like the really big ones, not the big ones, but like usually my friends and stuff, where I'm excited because I'm seeing them. And then a lot of the jam band stuff for me was getting too noodly, which I still loved it. Like I love seeing it. But I loved the clear definition of like they're playing the song. Because there was points I'm like, this must be a jam. Like I didn't like listen to them before because like my friend Fish showed me all these live videos. I checked a few songs out on their albums and I tended to like their live stuff more. And I was like even the same versions of the song. So I was like, let me just go raw. Let's just go see it.
That's the best. It's like watching the movie without the trailer.
Yeah. No, and like they would have these 10-minute like long like jams and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is a jam, but it feels so tight. And then I would like go and like, oh no, that was the song. The song is 10 minutes. And I thought that was so cool. Like it wasn't these like pockets of like, okay, now we're noodling and figuring out what we're doing next. Like they were like, this is next. This is the next thing. And then it just had this like this like they came out and like I don't like thrash metal and they came out and I was like, holy fuck, this is awesome. Like because like you picture like metal and thrash, you picture like big dudes, big burly beards, kind of like going crazy, and it's like all these dudes are like skinny white Australian guys and with the biggest smiles on their face, and I'm like, fuck, this music is so angry, but like they're having so much fun. Like, and the crowds, I don't know, some people don't love their crowds. I loved it. Like I could not, like, people seemed like they were having so much fun. I gotta go again and crowd surf sometime at a King Gizzard show. But yeah, that was definitely one of the shows that I really was like recently blown the hell away and was like, that was different from what I've been seeing recently.
What do you think, like, because you were saying about bands, like you wanted to see more bands, like earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
You think that kind of sparked it? And also, alternate question, do you bring any like live instruments into your music, or have you thought about doing that?
So me and my friend Ted are kind of, this is like really in the works. But we are working on like this more jam / psychedelic rock electronic project.
Cool. That sounds dope.
So that's going to be having more instrumentation stuff. But for me, I don't really do that. My black box show, like if I have someone who comes in and like does anything, it's usually a special guest. Like I've had my friend Tad Osis play guitar in my set, but I don't play anything.
Okay.
I feel like my music like isn't exactly like shred guitar, do something over it. But I would like to make more stuff. Like another big goal is to write a bunch of like I kind of have a folder of a decent amount of like Nujabes as like hip hop beats that ideally I would really really like to have a full band play. More of like a
DJ Cam quartet type
yeah,
of deal
like
or something.
yeah, like but like only do those shows at like small, really small, like almost jazz bar venues.
I would what do we call that one? We call that one the fromage.
Yeah, fromage.
You can take it. Everyone, you have to wear a beret to get
yeah,
in.
no, yeah. That the beret is like literally the ticket.
Yeah.
The beret
So
is
you gotta bring it. You're not required to continue to wear it, but like,
but you have to wear
you
it while.
should.
Yeah. It's kind of a like people would look at you weird if you didn't keep it on.
yeah, dude, you gotta get that beret going.
No, yeah. So definitely like not too much instrumentation like in my stuff because I think it's definitely just more of that boppy hip hop stuff, but or like bassy stuff. But like from my past and the music I listen to now, like I've much wanted to like dive more into doing lots of instrumentation stuff.
For sure.
And I think that was a big thing for me, was seeing like I don't see myself doing exactly what they do. They do a lot of their range is crazy, but they definitely more on the harder rock stuff a lot of the times. But that was kind of just more of those like the wow moment. Like I haven't seen something like that in a while. Definitely like became like the band I'd be like, I would travel for them. There's not many bands I'd travel for. That was definitely one of them.
I've heard good things for sure. Yeah, I would like to check them out.
Yeah, they're really fun.
All right, man. Well, I think we made it. Let's do the ending, which is any shout outs to people that I think I've been trying to put this caveat on, like, unless your family's like extra like shout outable, like we don't do the family because it's just like that's family.
Yeah. No, probably shout out Tyler. He is my agent, Tyler at Submission. Shout out Brett and all the NSW people, Joe, Brian, Mike. Shout out all the Pond people. All you guys know who you are. Shout out all the Chicago fam. Shout out all the DC fam. That probably should be. Shout out all the Denver fam. I feel like that's hitting all the marks.
I think you got it. Yeah. And where can people find you?
SoundCloud, Instagram, Spotify. Trying to keep it mostly to the CHEZ. The only one right now that I think can't be CHEZ, just cheese, is Instagram. That's cheese.music, spelled how it sounds. But yeah, anything else, just look up Cheese, Apple Music, any major streaming platform. We're making a joke that possibly we release my next EP on OnlyFans.
Dude, I don't even know how that would work, but you might be onto something.
We're gonna figure it out. It's just gonna be a video of me playing it through my speakers.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, no, find me on anything, any major platforms.
OnlyFans soon.
OnlyFans coming soon. Don't worry.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening, and if you've made it this far, we appreciate you. Yeah, we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Peace. Yo, what's up, guys? This is your host, Jerry. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. If there's someone you'd like to see on the show, leave a comment below. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, we'd appreciate it if you leave a review and hit that 5-star rating. Thank you for your support, and we'll catch you on the next one.